Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video on the channel. So I said I was going to be consistent. I'm going to be very consistent with my Premier League reviews, my updates, what I think about the previous Premier League weekend. So we're not stopping at Matchday 2. This is my review of Matchday 2 in the Premier League. So let's start off with Chelsea versus Spurs. Look, that game last night was absolutely crazy. It had everything you wanted to see. I tweeted that it was going to be one of the best games of the season, or top 5 games of the season. And it was really a tale of two halves. The first half, Chelsea were just unplayable. Spurs couldn't really get out, barring that Sessegnon chance. What Chelsea was so good at is that they were so good at pinning Tottenham back. Now, it's not easy to pin a team like Tottenham back because their outlets are so good. They have Kane, they have Kulusevski, they have Son, 3 of the most potent players in the Premier League, and Chelsea did really well in stopping the ball at the source. When Dyer got the ball, they forced him to go long, and it went to no one, and Chelsea were able to regroup and attack again. What I realised in the first 20-25 minutes of the game is that Spurs really tried to press Chelsea. They really tried to go man for man because they were playing a similar-ish system. But Chelsea kept playing out of their press. I think Jorginho, especially in the first half, was key to that. Wherever he received the ball, he had acres of space due to his movement and Tuchel's instructions, and that allowed Chelsea to play out. I think Kante had a very good first half as well, and Raheem Sterling, Kai Havertz, Mason Mount not so much, but Kai Havertz and Raheem Sterling, they had a good understanding and a good relationship. Cucurella in the first half was quite solid, same as Reece James, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek was attacking down that right side. Now came the second half, and Chelsea ran into similar problems, and Spurs are just a very weird team to analyse. Chelsea ran into the problems where they couldn't score, they couldn't capitalise on their chances as much as we know that they could. And I feel like after that unbelievable Koulibaly goal, they really struggled to create chances like that. They had the Havertz chance, correct me if I'm wrong, and they had another Havertz chance that was saved well by Lloris. So it's just about getting into those positions. Havertz is not going to be a main striker, even though he had a good game yesterday. But it's all about how Chelsea can progress now. They need to find a striker. I hate to say it, but they need to find a striker like Gabriel Jesus. Someone that can factor in and create their own chances, because Chelsea don't create many opportunities for the striker, barring crosses into the box. Raheem Sterling is trying it. Mason Mount is trying, but it's just not working. And Spurs will be Spurs. I think Spurs, they will sit back the entire game and they will find that one opportunity and that one moment that they need. Spurs have always done this. They've always been a team like this. They will never dominate a game, but they have moments players and they will do everything that it takes to show up in that one moment and to deliver. And that's what happened yesterday. Højbjerg scored after a calamitous decision by the referee to not give Kai Havertz a foul. And then Jorginho started flicking the right stick in the box, doing brain dead decisions. He should have just cleared it out in that situation, but Tottenham capitalised and Højbjerg scored. And then up the other end, Reece James made it 2-1. Tuchel ran down the other end, celebrating in front of Conte, but Antonio Conte had the last laugh, even though it was a draw. That goal, look, I think Romero should have been sent off for what he did to Cucurella. So, like I said, Spurs will be Spurs. They will go missing in 95% of the game, but they will turn up in the needed moments, and that's what Spurs do. That's why I don't think they're title contenders, because they don't dominate games enough. And I just feel that Tottenham need to get onto the next level, because those performances against Chelsea, it's not sustainable. It's really, really not sustainable, and I just feel that eventually it's going to be sussed out. Quote me if I'm wrong, Tottenham fans are going to be angry in my comments, but that's just how I feel is going to happen. So 2-2 game, really good game for the neutral to watch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's move on to Man United versus Brighton. Brentford 4, Manchester United 0. How the hell do we even analyse that? Well, it's very simple. Erik ten Hag set up in a very naive formation for Man United. It was so easy for them to get countered. It was so easy for them to be pressed against. Brentford pressed like that. They were targeting Lisandro Martinez again, which is the second game in a row. And I just feel like it's going to start being a problem for Man United when they're not controlling games in the midfield. Lisandro Martinez will be an absolute target. 5'8", 5'9" centre-backs are not a thing in the Premier League. And if Man United are not controlling the game as they should, it would be a problem, because Lisandro Martinez, he will be the trigger. Ivan Toney this week, Danny Welbeck last week, Darwin Nunez next week. Bro, it is a lot to handle as a Man United fan. And I think Like I said, you need to replace the keeper because he can't claim crosses, he can't sweep, he can't do this, he can't do that, and Man United are in their Leno phase. And I think what Man United fans, or just the players in general, need to accept is that there will be periods of mediocrity at Manchester United. I personally would rather sell all of the players at Manchester United than get rid of Erik ten Hag. I will say, if I was the technical director of Manchester United, I will terminate many contracts, I will try to sell as much as I can and just start afresh. Just keep 2 or 3 players and from there go again, because at this point there's no hope for Man United in this current team. They don't have a midfield, and Erik ten Hag, as naive as he was, he needs to switch to a back 3. It's a process and every single manager needs to deal with it. Arteta did it, Klopp did it, Guardiola did it. It's just the start of a project for every single manager, and you have to go through the dark moments to come out again in the light moments, and Erik ten Hag needs to go through that once more. Now it's time to speak about Arsenal versus Leicester. Now, I was at this game, and what I sensed from this game is that it was a very fun watch. There were goals, VAR decisions, weirdness. It was a lot to watch as an Arsenal fan. Like, if I'm honest, I didn't like how little we controlled the game. It was in fits and starts. We barely pressed them because technically Leicester are a very nice team. But when I look at someone like Daniel Amate, he can barely touch the ball. He can barely control the ball. He can barely play. So Arsenal need to really attack that. I feel that as well. Gabriel Jesus, I tweeted it last night. I think I just can't believe he's an Arsenal player. I can't believe how good Gabriel Jesus is. He makes everything for himself. He sets up other teammates. He got 2 goals and 2 assists. For my FPLers, that is an unbelievable return. But he could have scored 5. There was a chance where Ramsdale, he hit it long. The ball was sailing over Gabriel Jesus' head. He jumped, he headed it into the air, backed into Johnny Evans, spun him, nearly scored, got a tackle from Ndidi. And that is how Gabriel Jesus does. He will find opportunities out of nothing and he will create for himself. Granted, he's not the most clinical finishers, but what he will do is get into that position time and time again, and if he's not getting into that position, he's going to create the chance for someone else to get into that position. But as I mentioned, Arsenal still have trouble pressing. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the heat. This was a home game, so I was expecting Arsenal to do really well on the press, but I just feel that at the moment, it's just not clicking for Arsenal. The left side, Gabriel Martinelli, Granit Xhaka, Oleg Zinchenko, they have a really good relationship. On the right side, however, Saka, Odegaard, Ben White, you would think they would have a good relationship, but they've started quite slowly this season. So I just feel that let the minutes come. I think Saka, he's been not Saka for the past few months. Odegaard, I don't know what's happened to that guy. Ben White is playing out of position as well. So it just comes to learning each other. Now that Tomiyasu's back, maybe Ben White goes to the bench, who knows. It's just about rotation and trying to find the right solutions for our players. I think Arsenal, they'll do very well this season. Look, they're playing Bournemouth next week. I expect them to win, and Arsenal have a really good run right now. They can go on 4, 5, 6 wins, but they just need to sort out their press. Once they're able to do that, then the sky is the limit. And last note about William Saliba, bro, I've never ever seen a reaction like that to an own goal. Everyone was cheering him, and then he made a last-ditch tackle at the end. So, William Saliba, I'm glad that we have him. And yeah, that's pretty much it about Arsenal. If we quickly speak about Man City, beating another promoted team at 3 o'clock. What's new? Erling Haaland missed a chance. Foden could have squared it to Haaland. Haaland could have scored, man. It was, yeah. But Gundogan is turning out to be one of Man City's most important players. I think Bernardo Silva's leaving now, which is sad to hear. But we know this was what Man City do. They just dominate, they just control, they just do everything you need them to do as a title challenger or the title favourite. They will do this most weeks to most teams. And to be honest, I pay no mind to these performances, the big games that I care about Man City. Nottingham Forest also got their first victory in the Premier League. You know, the vibes were there. You know, because Nottingham Forest have been out of the Premier League for so long, I just feel that, for example, they're just on a high right now. Every single thing that Nottingham Forest do, their fans think, oh my God, we're doing this. They're signing all of these players as well. So let's see how they gel. I think they're linked to Houssam Aouar as well. Man, as an Arsenal fan, that's sad to hear the way he's fallen off. But yeah, all these teams are going to come to the City ground. They're going to find it hard to play Nottingham Forest. West Ham found it difficult. Declan Rice missed a penalty. But yeah, I just think it was a bit of a nothing game today. Obviously, the vibes were there. But yeah, Nottingham Forest, first W. Man United can't even say that. LOL. And yeah, Southampton are looking very awkward. They came back from a 2-0 deficit, but I just feel like the vibe and the ambience around Ralph Hasenhüttl is not there. Apparently he's falling out in the dressing room, and I just feel that something needs to change at Southampton because they recruited well this summer. They've picked up young players, but for a relegation fight, which everyone is predicting them to be in, it's just a situation of, can you trust these young players? And we'll see in it, but it's just looking bad at Southampton. But yeah, that was Matchday 2's Premier League recap. Obviously, I haven't done Liverpool Crystal Palace because they're playing on Monday. I'm recording this Sunday night, so I don't know what the score is when you guys are watching this. But yeah, let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know if you guys have any interesting takes from the weekend. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I've been Rimedi. You've been my loyal subscribers. Take care, and salam alaikum.